After World War II, Japan faced the challenge of rebuilding its nation due to Cold War tensions, finding itself strategically positioned near the Soviet Union, whose military presence in East Asia, particularly in the Kuril Islands and its Pacific Fleet, posed a significant security threat. In response, Japan entered into the 1951 U.S.-Japan Security Treaty, similar to Philippines' Mutual Defense Treaty with the U.S., to secure protection against Soviet aggression, allowing U.S. military forces to be stationed in Japan as a counterbalance. Over the following decades, Japan strengthened its self-defense forces, SDF, and maritime defense capabilities within constitutional constraints, investing in advanced naval and air systems to monitor and deter Soviet activities. Much like the Philippines is now enhancing its Coastguard and defense infrastructure in response to China's actions. Additionally, Japan engaged in joint military exercises with the United States and other allies to increase its defensive posture and readiness, paralleling the Philippines' current international defense collaborations. The Philippines has now established a new Coast Guard station on its northern islands near Taiwan, enhancing its ability to monitor an area where China has significantly increased its military presence. Philippine National Security Advisor Eduardo Ano announced the completion of the station on Friday, highlighting its strategic importance in the Luzon Strait. This crucial international waterway, located less than 200 kilometers from Taiwan, is vital for vessels traveling between the Philippine Sea and the contested South China Sea, and it is also a significant route for multiple cable systems. The new station aims to enhance Manila's surveillance capabilities over the Luzon Strait, which has garnered increased attention following China's military buildup in response to escalating tensions between Taiwan and the United States. Ano emphasized that the town of Itbayat in the Philippines' Batanes Islands experienced a military buildup in 2022 due to China's reactions to political developments involving Taiwan and the U.S. He noted that China's naval activities in the Luzon Strait necessitated improved monitoring and defensive capabilities to ensure peace, stability, and freedom of navigation. The establishment of the Coast Guard station is part of a broader effort by the Philippines to secure its maritime borders and assert its sovereignty in areas contested by China. The new facility will enhance the Philippine Coast Guard's PCG ability to address foreign threats and maritime crimes, including illicit trade, human trafficking, piracy, and unauthorized intrusions. Itbayat recently served as a venue for joint military exercises between the Philippines and the U.S. from April 22nd to May 10th, involving over 16,000 troops. These exercises are part of a long-standing defense cooperation between the two nations, which has seen an increase in the number of Philippine military bases accessible to U.S. forces. In 2023, the Philippines nearly doubled these bases, including 3 located near Taiwan, a move China criticized as aggravating regional tensions. Historically, the Philippines' strategic partnership with the U.S. dates back to the Mutual Defense Treaty of 1951, established during the early years of the Cold War to counter communist expansion in Asia. This alliance has evolved with changing geopolitical dynamics, reflecting persistent concerns over regional security and stability, particularly in response to China's rising influence. The Philippines' efforts to increase its defense capabilities come amid China's aggressive posturing towards Taiwan. On Friday, Chinese state CCTV reported that China conducted mock missile strikes and dispatched bombers carrying live missiles as part of its 2-day military drills near Taiwan. These exercises were intended to punish Taiwan's new president, Lai Ching-te, whom Beijing denounces as a separatist. President Lai stated that Taiwan's future should be determined by its people, but he has also consistently advocated for dialogue with China.
I want to call on China to cease their political and military intimidation against Taiwan, share the global responsibility of maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait as well as the greater region, and ensure the world is free from the fear of war.
However, Beijing has dismissed these offers, maintaining its sovereignty claims over Taiwan.
I would like to emphasize that Taiwan independence is a dead end. No matter under what guise or banner, the pursuit of Taiwan independence and secession is doomed to fail.
In response to the drills, Taiwan's armed forces have been mobilized to monitor and counter Chinese military movements. In addition to the developments in the Luzon Strait, the Philippines has also built a new Coast Guard station on Thitu Island, a key feature in the contested Spratly Islands in the South China Sea. This facility enhances the Philippines' ability to monitor Chinese vessels and aircraft movements in this strategically important and heavily disputed area. Earlier this year, the Philippine Coastguard detected a Chinese Navy ship and numerous militia vessels near Thitu Island, which is one of the 9 features held by Manila in the Spratlys. This observation highlighted the ongoing presence and activities of Chinese forces in the area and a source of regional friction. The newly inaugurated 3-story Coast Guard station on Thitu is equipped with advanced technology, including radar, automatic identification systems, satellite communication, and coastal cameras. These capabilities are expected to significantly enhance the Philippines' surveillance and monitoring operations in the South China Sea. During a visit to the island, National Security Advisor Eduardo Ano criticized the behavior of the Chinese Coast Guard, the People's Liberation Army, PLA Navy, and Chinese militias, describing their actions as unpredictable and non-compliant with international norms and the rule of law. Ano labeled their tactics as pure bullying and purely illegal. China's extensive claims in the South China Sea, which overlap with the territorial claims of several other regional nations, continue to be a major source of geopolitical tension. Thitu Island, known locally as Pag-asa, is about 300 miles, 480 kilometers, west of the Philippine province of Palawan. It is the largest and most strategically significant outpost maintained by the Philippines in the South China Sea. Home to approximately 200 residents, Thitu serves as a critical point for Manila to assert its territorial claims. The South China Sea is a vital maritime corridor, with more than $3 trillion worth of goods passing through its waters annually. Besides the Philippines, Brunei, China, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Vietnam have competing claims in the region, making it one of the world's most contentious and closely watched maritime areas. The establishment of the new Coast Guard station on Thitu Island indicates the Philippines' commitment to defending its territorial claims and enhancing its maritime security capabilities. As regional tensions persist, this move highlights the broader strategic efforts by claimant nations to fortify their positions and monitor activities in this critical and contested waterway. In addition to these developments, Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro announced that the Philippines would continue to build security alliances and stage joint combat drills in disputed waters to defend its territorial interests. This declaration comes in the face of strong opposition from China, which has criticized these actions as provocative and aimed at containing Beijing. During a speech to military leaders at a ceremony commemorating the anniversary of the Philippine Navy's founding in Manila, Teodoro condemned China's increasingly aggressive behavior in the South China Sea. Although he did not mention China explicitly, his remarks clearly targeted Beijing's actions, which he described as intolerable aggression and provocation.
Is actually part of the high seas and part of the West Philippine Seas. Also a violation of the precepts of the United Nations Charter, which lays upon each responsible member state the duty to refrain from the threat or the use of force or aggression to enforce, particularly in this case, illegal territorial claims in the maritime domain.
Due to escalating territorial tensions with China in the South China Sea over the past year, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s administration has actively sought to strengthen security partnerships with various Asian and Western nations. Additionally, the administration has increased U.S. military access to Philippine bases under a 2014 defense agreement. Recently, the Philippine military has conducted its annual live-fire combat exercises with U.S. forces in and near the disputed waters, signaling enhanced defense posture. China has condemned these joint activities, labeling them as provocative measures intended to contain Beijing, thereby jeopardizing regional security. However, Teodoro dismissed these accusations as paranoid disinformation from a closed political system. He asserted that China's ultimate goal is to achieve its objectives through threats or force, a tactic the Philippines cannot allow to persist. The Philippines holds the distinction of being the United States' oldest treaty ally in Asia. The U.S. has pledged to defend the Philippines if its forces, aircraft, or ships come under armed attack, including in the disputed South China Sea. This mutual defense commitments are a testament to the bilateral relationship. Moreover, the Philippines has existing defense agreements with the U.S. and Australia, permitting their forces to conduct annual combat readiness and disaster response training within the country. Negotiations for a similar agreement with Japan are ongoing, and the Philippines is also considering a defense pact with France. This year has already seen joint maneuvers with the U.S., Australian, and Japanese navies. In April and May, The largest and most ambitious annual military exercises to date saw thousands of U.S. and Philippine forces engage in simulated island retake operations and warship sinking drills. These exercises, which focused on territorial defense in and around the South China Sea, included aerial reconnaissance, logistical transport drills, and the securing of an airfield in a town near Taiwan. Teodoro highlighted the significance of these drills, stating that they provide a realistic training scenario with evolving hypothetical situations that test the capabilities of the forces involved. He emphasized that there will be increased maritime cooperative activities with like-minded nations in the future. Chinese defense spokesperson Wu Qian reiterated Beijing's opposition to what it views as external interference and provocations in the South China Sea. Wu stated that China would firmly defend its territories against any such actions. Teodoro stated that the Philippines' efforts to defend its internationally recognized exclusive economic zone, EEZ, cannot be reasonably termed as provocations. He stressed that defending the EEZ is a constitutional duty of Philippine officials.
In any situation, as even highly developed armed forces show, no amount of deterrence is enough. So you just have to create your capabilities sustainably as fast as possible.
Besides China and the Philippines, other claimants in the South China Sea dispute include Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. The South China Sea remains a crucial global trade route, making its security and stability a matter of international concern. In response to China's assertive actions in the region, President Marcos has directed the Philippine military to shift its focus from internal anti-insurgency operations to external defense.
I am very happy that we can now show that it is peaceful in Tawi-Tawi. It is peaceful in Tawi-Tawi because of all the efforts of all our troops. Kasama na ngayon sa mission natin ay yung patuloy na peacemaking na para bigyan natin ng pagkakataon.
This strategic realignment aligns with efforts by U.S. President Joe Biden and his administration to increase an alliance network in the Indo-Pacific region to counter China's influence and actions. The Philippines' proactive stance in enhancing its maritime defense capabilities, coupled with its commitment to international partnerships and joint exercises, highlights a broader regional strategy to ensure stability and security in the face of rising geopolitical tensions. As the dynamics in the South China Sea continue to evolve, the strategic significance of these initiatives remains paramount for regional and global security. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.